Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for July 12th through the 14th. And things are looking, the humidity and the warmth is going to continue. We may see some rain, though, for the first time, at least in southern Vermont in a while. Obviously, northern Vermont got way too much rain on Wednesday in many places, experienced some flooding that looked a little too close to last year for us, a little too close to comfort. Thankfully, that did not happen here. This system that's kind of taking shape over the western Atlantic off the southeast coast could give us some moisture. The models, this is very subtle, and this makes it hard to forecast because a little difference is going to make a huge difference in terms of exactly how much rain we see from this. Clouds are basically a definite. You can see that the clouds have certainly low clouds have already moved in. We should still see some peaks of sun today, but this system, which has some tropical characteristics and then also some, as kind of a very weak tropical system, not even a depression, certainly not a closed low or anything, but it's kind of a tropical wave, which is sort of being caught up in a bit of a boundary layer that's very weak, but that is sort of here along the eastern seaboard, is going to move generally up in our direction and give us the chance for some rain. It's going to be pretty subtle whether it actually gets here or not. But the problem with that is, like, in terms of moisture, there's a lot, and thankfully this is not snow, because it would be a really, we would be in the who knows how much snow forecast we're going to get. Whether we get a tenth of an inch of rain or an inch and a half of rain doesn't make a massive difference in like dealing with things. And I don't think it's going to be enough rain to cause any kind of flooding concerns. To our south, that may be there's a little bit of a chance of that, but for us, that's not a problem. So really, we're just actually kind of hoping we could actually use an inch of rain or so, especially if it came overnight tonight and then was mostly out of here tomorrow. I don't think that's what's actually going to happen, but that would be good. All right, let's take a look. Whoops, before we get to that, the closer in satellite, here's kind of what's going on. Here's your low pressure system here, kind of, and we'll take a closer look at this later on. But basically, what's there, it's hardly a closed low, but just kind of along the coast on the southeast. Not really going to have a chance to develop into anything stronger tropically because it's kind of going to run up along this boundary layer, which exists. It's kind of pushing the boundary layer back towards us a little bit. But basically, this is the triggering mechanism there. As you can tell, if you walked outside the last several days, there's plenty of moisture in the atmosphere. So any kind of triggering mechanism for things leads to plenty of showers and thunderstorms and rain, heavy rain at times when we get that. So if we get the boundary far enough back to the west, we certainly could see a decent amount of rain. Will that happen? Probably at this point, I think is likely, but how much? But it's not a guarantee either. It may stay just to our south and east, in which case we mostly just stay cloudy. So we're going to have to kind of see what happens with that. If we take a closer look, you can see that boundary, and you can see how even before we get to the heating of the day, this will fire up more as we get more warmth and some more sun in some places through the day along the coast. And again, you can kind of see the northward push of it here in southern New England. And actually, if we look at it on radar, closer in radar, you can kind of see things are moving north. It's a slow progression north. So I think even though we have clouds now, and I think we could see some sun mixed in with the clouds today, I think any actual rain from this holds off until after dark today. So not a bad day today, although maybe not as sunny as we were originally thinking a couple days ago, but definitely not a terrible day today. But tonight into tomorrow, definitely a chance for some showers and some steadier rain potentially if this gets far enough north. Let's take a quick look at just a kind of closer look. Yeah, you can see there's like one closed. Why is this not a tropical depression? There's only really one closed circle around it, and so it doesn't have quite enough, and the pressure is still 1013 is basically a very, very weak low pressure system. So it just, and again, given some more time and a little further off the coast, this is the kind of system that could have become a tropical system, but just basically because it kind of formed basically right on the coast and it didn't have enough time over to kind of sit and spin and really become a closed circulation itself. It has some tropical characteristics, but not entirely. And then it's this triggering front here that is sort of stationary, but could move a little bit back towards us, and that would be what would cause the rain. So what does that look like in terms of a forecast overall? I've got a mix of sun and clouds, probably more clouds than sun today. Humidity will continue. Humidity, unfortunately, continues all weekend. Temperature of about 83 degrees. I think rain holds off until overnight, till basically dark, probably this evening, probably certainly at least until 6, 7 o'clock at the very earliest, I would say, and probably more like till 10, 11 o'clock at night. Then we could get some showers. There could be some rumbles of thunder involved in there. They could be heavier at times. Tomorrow, sort of same thing. We could see a peak or two of sun as well tomorrow. We'll have to see. Or we could be mostly dry if things are just to our south and east. So tomorrow is definitely, I would be prepared for rain. But it's kind of see where the boundary really stalls out, and unfortunately, it's not really modelable in many ways. Models are all over the place on exactly how much rain we get. Some models have us up close to 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches of rain, whereas some have us getting almost none. And I think both of those is actually a reasonable outcome out of this. So yeah, we could kind of use the inch of rain. It'd be really nice if it rained. We got about 1 inch of rain overnight tonight, and then it kind of cleared out some tomorrow. We've had a stretch of not amazing weather on Saturdays. Sunday is going to be a nice day, although the humidity is still around and it's warm. So warm to hot on Sunday, but full sun. I think we will push everything out of here by Sunday, and we'll be back to just sun, which will be nice with temperatures in the upper 80s. It'll feel a little bit warmer than that. Let's take a look at those weekend highlights. The warm, humid weather continues. A storm to our south approaches and brings showers and storms tonight and tomorrow. Exactly how much rain we get, still a little bit up in the air, and any showers or storms could bring heavy rain. Not flooding rain, so don't worry about that, but heavy rain. Sunday looks warm to hot. So there you go. That's the forecast. The warm and humid air kind of continues as we head into next week. It looks like, at least for a while, we're kind of stuck in that pattern. It is July after all. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. I appreciate their help. I will be back. I think I will be back on Monday. Should probably be able to get a forecast up to you on Monday for next week for your work week forecast.